Welcome back to IGN Live. I'm Damon Hadfield, and joining me to talk about one of the goriest 2D games I've ever seen is IGN's Doug Duggan and Miguel Ortega, designer of the game, which is Blasphemous.
Yeah.
Welcome to the IGN stage.
Thank you.
This game looks very cool, looks very relevant to my interests.
Thank you. What can I say? Glad to be here.
I would describe it as a very highly detailed, gory, pixel art, Castlevania-ish game. Is that accurate?
Totally right.
I nailed it.
Castlevania is definitely one of our main inspirations for the game.
So I think either we just got done fighting the first fight, or we're about to fight the first fight. Hopefully the latter.
Yes.
Is the first fight in this game a boss fight?
It is. It is. We wanted to start with a big shot, make an impact.
You certainly do that with all the bodies on screen.
Yeah.
Tell us what's happening narratively, if you can. I mean, I understand that probably some of it you want to keep opaque.
Yeah, exactly. I want to keep things a bit mysterious because that's part of the fun, right? But right now, the Penitent One, which is the main character, is fighting the warden of the Silent Sorrow. He just woke up in this brotherhood full of corpses, and he's just fighting for his life. And as you said, our first fight in the game, the very first combat, is a boss fight. It's a statement of what's going to happen in the rest of the game. We want brutal combat since the very beginning.
So I'm sorry, so this is the actual, you haven't fought any other enemies before this?
No.
Wow.
This is the very first thing.
Well, so who are we? Who are we playing as?
Well, you play as a mysterious
Okay.
character called the Penitent One, who just wakes up in a world that is scourged by this force called the Miracle. They had to go to the cradle of the Miracle to kind of destroy it, because this force is twisting everything around, making people mad and monsters.
I mean, hopefully we're about to see it, but I think this is one of my favorite video game cinematics, period, ever. If we will play it, yes.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
The metal
Sure.
one.
If you're watching at home, brace yourself. He's filling up his cone helmet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and what is he going to do
Blood
with
of
that?
his fallen enemy.
Where's that going? Is it, oh,
Yeah.
it's going back in his head. So this is this
This is blasphemous.
speaks
Yeah.
perfectly to the profane aesthetic of this game, and I'm absolutely in
Yeah.
love with it. What inspired this?
Well, that's an excellent question. Actually, you see in a lot of games, you're already seeing a lot of medieval fantasy focusing, like European medieval age, and also like Japanese fantasies or things like that. We wanted to make a game that represented a bit of our culture, because I'm from Sevilla. I'm from Malaga, but we work in Sevilla, in Spain. And in the south part of Spain, we grow up with a really different culture. We think it's really interesting. It hasn't been represented before in most games, so we wanted to go with that. And yeah, that's kind of what we did. For example, the conical hat that a
Right,
lot of
the-
people is asking about
Yeah.
is based on a capirote, which is like a conical garment they use in Spain in some Easter celebrations, traditions.
So how do you describe the art style? It's not technically like 16-bit. It's actually like better
Be
than that.
higher, yes. It's honestly, we are really inspired by all games, but we also wanted to make our own thing. So we got real good pixel artists on the team, and the game started with research of the art style until we reached something that we liked, and yeah, we end up with this highly detailed animations, executions too.
We just saw the Penitent One talk with, I think, his first NPC interaction. Can
Yeah.
you tell us about his interactions with non-hostiles? in the
Yeah, there's a few of them, not many. Most people are pretty gross here, but yeah, that NPC that's called he's called Diocrashes, and he's kind of like the owl in Zelda games. He's kind of like your guide. He tells you about your objective at the beginning of the game, and you will find it in other places of the game. You will find also other kind of NPCs, and all of them have different storylines that you can, if you want, you can discover just exploring the game.
It looks like there's some context-sensitive actions where you
Yeah.
smash the wheel down.
That's the execution mechanic. You can stun certain enemies with a few mechanics we have, and if you do so, you can execute them and gain a bonus in Fervor, which is kind of like our mana bar, and also see a pretty awesome animation.
So we're seeing our first prayer here. Can you
Yeah.
talk me through the different elements of the combat, from light attacks to riposte and all the various?
Yeah, there are a few of them. As you've seen, that was a prayer, the first one, the first prayer you find in the game. They are kind of like spells, and then you can unlock different skills, like combat skills. You can unlock like a lunge maneuver or charge attack, downward strike, and the basic stuff you can do since the very beginning is just jumping, slashing, and parrying enemies. You can also dash to dodge their attacks. You can pass them through and pretty much dodge everything if you are skilled enough.
What is this little cherub in the cage up there? That
The cherub. Yeah, that's something I don't really know what to talk about.
Fair
Yeah,
enough. All
that's
right.
how people will discover by
Oh,
themselves.
here we go.
Yeah, there's something, but
Okay.
this is
yeah.
the only thing we tell at the beginning of the game. It's a special thing.
So you mentioned Castlevania was an inspiration, but are we talking about the earlier linear level-based Castlevanias or the Metroidvania, like Symphony of the Night?
We love both of them. We love both Igavanias, like the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
recent one.
Good way to put it.
Symphony of the Night is probably our main inspiration,
Okay.
to be honest. But we also played and grew up with the older ones, with the NES ones, Simon's Quest and everything.
Yep. Well, so is
We
there,
took inspiration from everything.
is there a map that you're?
Yeah,
like,
is there a map? You can
building it?
you can open the map. Yeah, here's another cutscene. This is a bit of foreshadowing.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a map,
Okay.
which at the beginning we wanted to make a surprise. The beginning of the game is fairly linear, as you
Yeah.
can see,
Yeah.
but then it branches up because it's not a linear game at all. You can decide the order in which you encounter the bosses, so everything is optional.
So we're not quite there yet, but we are going to see some sword upgrades. Can you talk to me about the progression of your character, the Penitent One, how he
Yeah.
gets more powerful throughout the game?
Yes, as I told before, you can unlock different skills like combat techniques. To unlock them, you need to spend this resource you have on the top right on the screen, which are called Tears of Atonement, and you get those by just killing enemies. And you can get different skills, like in most games with skill trees. So it's pretty straightforward. Most of them will spend some fervor from your fervor bar. Yeah, he's fighting the cross-crawler.
I mean, the imagery, I don't know that we can talk about this game without discussing the religious imagery and the kind of, the unconventional nature in which you'd see it. So can you tell me about, is this game some kind of commentary, or is this all just part of the
No, not
aesthetic
at all.
of your...
It's only, we grew up with this kind of culture in our everyday lives, and we think the aesthetics are really interesting, so we wanted to make a world with those kind of aesthetics, but it's not a commentary at all.
I'm going to choose to imprint my own commentary on it and just...
Okay, you can do that, I guess.
So what stage of development is the game in now?
Well, the game is already finished,
Okay.
and we're just sorting things up with the porting, whatnot, because the game is releasing in both PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation at the same time.
Is there already a release date?
It will be releasing this year,
Okay.
but there's no release date.
Okay.
Hopefully soon.
So we're in an age in gaming where there's a lot of mocap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to be done in a mocap studio. This looks all hand animated. Can you tell me
It
about
is.
the inspirations for some of these amazingly beautiful gory kills?
Well, to be honest, it's mainly our artists. They're so good to just create those. But I've seen some pictures they took of themselves to create like the reference for the animation. One of them, for example, practiced martial arts, so he will just photograph himself and just use it as a base for the glory kills, as you say, the execution.
This is one of my favorites right here.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really good.
Smush.
The Igavania games have like hundreds of weapons.
Yeah.
Is there a weapon system?
That's not a thing here.
Okay.
You only have one weapon, which
Okay.
is that sword called the Mea Culpa. It's a very special weapon. You can see it on the intro scene of the game. And also, when you unlock different skills, it's on a Mea Culpa shrine. So everything is really deeply intertwined with that sword. Really important.
So in the gameplay we posted, we or whoever was playing died at that part. Can you talk to me about difficulty and how it ramps up? How difficult is it going to be by the end of the game?
Okay, it's fairly difficult, to be honest. The thing is, the game is a Metroidvania because you can unlock different relics to surpass some obstacles, but those obstacles are always optional. You can just go straight forward till the end of the game and not explore those paths. So you don't really need the relics. If you don't do that, you will reach the end of the game practically bare bones. So it will be way harder.
Do you think that's some kind of replayability there for folks who really want to challenge themselves, kind of like a 3-heart run in Ocarina?
Yeah, I think so. Also, we have different endings, so
Ooh.
yes. Won't say much about it, but that's another reason to replay the game.
How long have you guys been working on the game?
Well, we started working on it. We did a Kickstarter
Gotcha.
in 2017. It went really, really great. At that time, it was like the most successful Kickstarter in Spain back
Wow.
then. Since then, we've been working, like for 2 years on it.
Can you say anything about the length of the game?
It depends a lot of the player and if they want to explore the world or not. Because as I said, most of it is optional. But we think it's around 20 hours of gameplay for the first one, something like that. If you want to explore everything, it's a bit longer.
Significantly
Yes, significantly longer.
And what are we
This is
seeing
the-
in this cutscene?
Yeah, this is the Mea Culpa shrine. This is the first shrine you find again when you can upgrade your skills and unlock different combat techniques. He's just giving them the Mea Culpa sword. This only shows up in the first one, but you can use the shrine whenever you want. You can just go back to the shrine.
Gotcha.
And for each shrine you unlock, you will reach another tier and unlock. You'll be able to unlock different abilities.
Yeah, the graphics, especially in the cutscenes, kind of reminds me of 90s computer games.
Yeah.
Is that also an inspiration?
No, the thing is, we were working with different artists with different art styles, and we created something common, but we respected their own styles. So the cutscenes are made by different artists that had this kind of animation technique.
Gotcha.
Yeah. This is a secret. Yeah.
Very important.
Steve knows how to play the game. So at the beginning of the game, you can choose three different paths, and this one is kind of secret. If you know it, you can take it, but it's fairly obscure. And he's going now to the southmost part of Custodia, towards a place called the Inverted Bell. It's a gigantic inverted bell, iron cast bell, set into the ground.
Well, the game is called Blasphemous. It looks super cool. I can't wait to play it. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long
No.
forward to getting that release date sometime in the
Yeah.
not too distant future.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage.
Thank you for having me.
All right. There's lots more IGN Live at E3 coming up. Max, what is next?
Good lord, that game is metal. Thanks, Damon. We've got No Straight Roads coming up next on IGN Live at E3 2019. And even though Sony isn't here at the show, we cannot stop thinking about Death Stranding. So here is everything we know about Hideo Kojima's next game, which is both a lot and a little because that game looks weird as hell and I really can't wait to play it. There's lots more IGN Live at E3 coming up right after this.